Stomach's still in shape?
Stomach is great. Let's do the roller coaster.
This week, we explore Interlaken. Located between two pristine lakes in Switzerland, Interlaken is a captivating destination that blends natural beauty with adventure. The town, set against the backdrop of the Swiss Alps, offers many adrenaline-pumping activities, from paragliding to water sports on the lakes. The day before, Dante convinced me to get over my fears and try my hand at some of these activities. Let me be very clear, I am not an adrenaline junkie, so paragliding was pushing me out of my comfort zone. Would you go paragliding? Leave it in the comments below. We chose to use a company called Paragliding Interlaken, where experienced pilots jump off the mountain with you. We paid extra to have our pilots extend our flight time by riding thermals, rising columns of warm air, and this primarily involved circling the column to stay inside of it for as long as possible. Birds make it look so easy, but the effect on us was definitely nauseating. Despite my fears, I had an amazing time. The view was breathtaking, and even after pinching myself, I couldn't believe I was not in a dream. The pilot was extremely kind and kept checking in on me to see how I was doing. Dante, on the other hand, being the adventurer that he is, decided to opt in for the roller coaster maneuvers.
Oh, my stomach is feeling it. I just don't want to.
Just in case if you have to hold your head outside. 1 minute we are down.
Being the insane travelers that we are, we decided to kayak immediately after. My stomach was feeling quite queasy. I kept asking Dante how choppy the lake would be, with the fear that I wasn't going to be able to keep my breakfast down. Thankfully, the water was calm and the lake was serene. Our guide told us the water is so clean that you could even drink it. I personally didn't, but hey, to each their own. To our surprise, we managed to convince our instructor to do a barrel roll in her kayak at the very end.
She does the barrel roll!
The next morning, we were ready to make our way to Jungfraujoch, the top of Europe. We had to partake in one last breakfast in Interlaken before making the train. Mohler opened originally in 1948, and since that day, the Mohler bakery has been baking according to the high standards of traditional craftsmanship. The pastries were impeccable. My favorite one was the chocolate-filled croissant, which had a brownie-like batter filling in the center.
I keep going through Switzerland going, oh my god, this has to be like the most beautiful thing, and then I reach the next point and it's even more beautiful and I just can't believe it. So I'm just in awe. Like, honestly, I'm speechless every time we go to a new spot.
The journey to Jungfraujoch is a little bit complicated.
All right, so we've made it on the train to Jungfraujoch. It's actually 3 trains. We take this first train to Lauterbrunnen. We then take a second train from Lauterbrunnen to Kleinensteigen. I can't pronounce any of this, it'll be on screen. And then finally we take a third express train from Kleinensteigen all the way up to this Jungfraujoch.
Yeah.
This is the slower route. There's a faster route that involves taking a gondola. It's called the Eiger Expressway.
And we'll do that going back down because where our final point tonight is in Bern, because the rest of our trip for the next couple of days will be in Bern.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we learned logistically just right now was I called the Jungfraujoch contact line and I asked them, can we take an earlier train, because we got here a little early, and I was like, why do we want to just sit around in the train station if we can try to get there early? So the caveat is if you book it ahead of time for a time, that guarantees you a seat at that time.
On the express train.
On the express train, the very last train that will be taking up to Jungfraujoch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only caveat. You can get on early trains, but there's not a guaranteed seat. So what we're planning to do is once we get there, we'll go in, we'll see if there's a seat available. If there's not, we'll get back out. Not a big deal. We'll wait for, I think it's like 30 minutes until our actually booked one. Otherwise, if there is space, we'll take it early.
Yeah. Swiss trains are running really on time. We've had one train delay so far, and it was like a minute late.
Yeah.
So really, really, really good. And
Very
the
reliable.
one bus that we had was already 5 minutes late. So
So there is, maybe we just got unlucky on that bus, but that's kind of what we've noticed so far.
and we were able to get luggage lockers.
Luggage.
Such combine those two words. These are the luggage lockers. They give you a key for the cost of about 7 Swiss francs, and you can store your baggage. So we have Anjali's backpack in there, as well as our large checked suitcase that she's getting out. The lockers are quite deep, so let me show that suitcase really quick. You can see it's rather large. And if we look into the locker, it's really quite large and deep. There's a little lip on the edge there. All right, so here we are in line to get on the express train to Jungfraujoch.
I'm so excited.
Got all these beautiful mountains behind us, and we took the earlier trains up. One had a little bit of a delay for a bit because another train had to go the opposite direction down the hill past us.
Yeah.
Yeah, up here there's a bathroom just over off shot.
I went ahead and like changed, as you can tell.
Yeah. So she's into her snow gear. I'll put on some snow pants probably once we get up to Jungfrau. We'll see. And yeah, it's really pleasant. So the Eiger Express, which is the train that we're going to be taking, is divided into 2 classes, first and second. So first class, you have to book a reservation in advance, and you can get on the red train, so you're guaranteed a seat.
Yeah.
Second class is the white train at the back. You're not guaranteed a seat, but it is a little bit cheaper whenever you book.
Yeah.
We booked first, and we really wanted to be at the front of the train. So we actually didn't take the earlier train like we said we were going to. We chose instead to go for the 10:30, which is what we originally booked for, just because we want to make sure that we can be at the front and get really nice, good shots while we're up there.
Exactly.
Stay tuned to see our reaction to the top of Europe, 2 Texans facing the European cold. Our next video will be our snow-filled adventures. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.